In this video, I'll show you some problems with diagonals and how to solve those problems. And it's in my book, Ellen's Guide to Design Elements, which is $5. A problem diagonal is if it goes to the corner, especially if it touches the corner, because it literally forms an arrow pointing out of the picture, which is not a good message to send to your viewers. And the steeper the diagonal, the more the line shoots out of the picture. So for most diagonals, you want to de-emphasize it on the right. And how do you do that? Well, you could have it fade before it ends, or have it curve, or block it with something. And you can see that this shadow would reach the corner if it didn't fade, and this one would reach the corner if it didn't curve. Now, what if we have a diagonal where we see both ends and it doesn't go to the corner? Well, it should, like all lines, divide the space unequally, and our eye is attracted to the right upper end here, so its position is particularly important, and it should be different distances from each of the edges of the picture. Now, what if the diagonal goes from one side of the picture to the other and we don't see its ends? Then it cuts the picture into two parts, and we want an unequal division of the space. Usually the bigger shape is in the bottom, as if supporting the upper shape. If you have the upper shape being bigger than the lower shape, it may look like it's pressing down on that lower shape. Maybe that's the look you want to achieve. So I want to discuss a little more about these diagonals that goes from one side to the other, cutting the image in half. It's better if it doesn't go to the top or bottom of the image, because then it looks like it's cutting off a corner. And also don't have it too close to the edge, because then it will look like it's squeezing that little space. Here's another problem. How do we deal with two lines in a painting? So here we have two lines, and it divides the image into three parts, and we want the spacing again to be unequal, so this is fine. But this one is not fine because they meet at a point, and it looks like they're pointing out of the picture, which is a very bad message to send. And you particularly don't want to have this point on the edge of the paper because it attracts our attention. Now, this one is also no good because we don't want generally lines coming from the top or bottom going to the side, because it looks like it's cutting off a corner. Now, when we have two lines that overlap or intersect like these, the image is divided into four unequal parts, and we are attracted to the intersection, which should be at variable distances from the edges. And when we have a series of diagonals, don't have them all slanting exactly in the same direction. Here I compare a horizontal zigzag where the horizontal lines are staggered. And here I have a diagonal zigzag where the diagonal lines are staggered. Now, the first one is calm and static, and the second has more energy and movement. These shapes could be like flowers on a table, or lily pads, or puddles, or islands. And what you want is the length of each run to differ, and the angles between them should also differ. Now, we want to keep the movement either clearly within the canvas or boldly exit the side. So, for example, this shape seems to continue outside the frame, so that's good. But this one touches the frame, so it looks like it's tickling the edges. And it is better if the shapes don't have any relationship to the frame. There are many types of diagonals that convey different feelings. So I start with a simple diagonal here. This one looks like a triangle, as if it's pointing. This one is jagged, suggesting tension and anxiety. This one seems to bend, maybe with some force, and this is a wavy line, which looks calm and peaceful. Now, Hogarth divided S-curves into 7 different types, and he thought this blue one was good for a well-formed man, this red one for a well-formed woman, and this has too much of a bulge, and this is too straight. Let's compare a few diagonals. So this first one is unbalanced and dynamic, and we know it's unbalanced because we need this ball over here to balance the diagonal going in this direction. This second one is more dynamic. It tapers quickly, suggesting movement and direction, and the ball actually should be moved down here more to counter it, to balance it. Curving ones are graceful, and the more they bend, the more force and tension they create. This one here suggests exclusion, while this one suggests inclusion. So you need to know what message you're sending. Now in this first example, we follow the path into the distance, and we're blocked from leaving it on the left due to this tree. So instead, we go this way and look at the rest of the painting. In the second one, he does what we're not supposed to do, which is cutting off a corner. But then he leads us back into the picture with these white lines. So he successfully used this diagonal, which generally isn't recommended, creating an unusual composition. So please remember to subscribe and check out my book on Amazon.